All right, everybody. I'm back, and it is the month of September, which means, importantly, it's September call-ups time. Although, even though it is September call-ups time, there have been some injuries. Eric Fedde has back tightness, so he might be a little while until he comes back. Sixto Sanchez, who I was replacing him, I had him in Eric Fedde's spot for 3 starts. He's also injured, so he has herniated disc in his back. So we have to make some moves to make up for that. I've thought about Jake Woodford, who we started in the majors. He's been mediocre at AAA, and I'm probably not going to go with him. I'm going to bring up Nick Nastrini, who's been 3-WAR player, pretty good with strikeouts, not great with walks, really not great with walks, but he's a ground ball pitcher. He's 24. He should probably come up. He's got great pitches, really good fastball slider. Home runs are pretty good. He's got good movement. Needs work on the control. But we're going to bring him up, and he's going to be our 2-spot starter, technically. Yeah, he'll be our 2-spot starter just until Sixto Sanchez and Eric Fedde come back. The other moves we are going to make are, I think I'm going to call up Touki Toussaint. Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the other moves I've made. He's going to be some relief help. He'll probably go back down, or we'll move the bullpen around a little bit once the injured players come back. And we'll put him in long relief with middle relief as an option. That's kind of where we had him. We had him go 3 games, 8 innings. He pitched long relief. He doesn't have great control. He's not a long-term fit. He's not somebody who's going to be around with us for an extended period of time. And the next person I'm going to bring up is, I'm not sure. I'm considering Deloach. I'm also considering DFAing somebody and adding Brian Ramos to. That's probably what I should do. He's killing it. He should be in the major leagues. Yeah, that's what I should do. And a corresponding move. Who do I DFA? Do I need 4 catchers? No. Do I DFA any of these guys? Probably not, because Alfaro is good. He's backup catcher level. Why? He's playing every game, it looks like. Who do I DFA? Zach Remillard? I probably DFA Zach Remillard. That's who I'm gonna DFA. I don't see him. He's just kind of organizational depth. And Shoemake is somebody that I can move up to the roster at any time. I probably do have too many relievers in the 40-man, or starters, either one, really. Jake Cousins could get moved up. He should get moved up as a reliever, as a bullpen guy. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll do some simming, and first, what I'm doing is I'm adding Brian Ramos to our 40-man to our actual roster. And we'll see. I kind of want to put him in against, let's see his splits. He's 22. He's better against lefties as a righty, but he's not, the ratings aren't that far off. That's really just two areas, BABIP and power. He's better against lefties. He's a pull hitter. He doesn't have great fielding, so I'm a little skeptical. But 45 third baseman is, Moncada has 55, I think. Yeah, so it's not great. That's a pretty big defensive switch. But Ramos, I could against lefties. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him in DH because Jurickson, Profar, he's been below replacement level. Really, there's not really been a redeeming quality to his game. And why not put in a young guy who's got quite a bit of promise, the number 65 prospect, and I believe he would still hold his rookie eligibility, just in case for next year. I've thought about Colson Montgomery, who I've been having play second. He's playing very well, but I think I'm going to stick with Brian Ramos, get Brian Ramos some major league at-bats. And immediately the day after, I cut recording, went another day, and I did this off camera. I have extended Garrett Crochet. This is something the White Sox tried to do in 2019 when they saw some upside. They extended Eloy Jimenez. I believe they extended Cease. They extended Luis Robert, who is still on our team, but the other two are not. So I'm going to take a risk. He's going to not go through some of his arbitration years. These 3 years would be his arbitration years. So we're missing out on those arbitration years. We get him for 6 extra years with a team option. I have a little roster update for you guys. Michael Kopech, who has pitched for us this year. Very replacement level, not great, walks a ton of people. We are going to be taking him out of the rotation and putting in Eric Fedde. Putting him back in, I should say. Nick Nastrini, that start was too good. And plus, I'd like to have some of the guys from our minors in. If I'm real, Kopech is not going to be on this team next year. We're not going to go into arbitration with him. We might try and trade him. We're not offering him however much he's projected. He's projected $3.4 million. He's not worth that. There are players better than him who aren't disruptive to the clubhouse. I kind of knew this was coming. Chicago White Sox 2024. We will not be making the playoffs. It's our 4th consecutive year, and they have not advanced past the White Sox have only made the playoffs 11 times in their history? Okay. We're going to ignore that. First, I love how Brian Ramos is our spokesperson. That's great. He's got great leader, great work ethic. That's wonderful. But yes, we are out of the playoffs. We've been on a bit of a skid. We lost 5 in a row. All of them to the Angels and some Oakland and some San Diego. That's fair. San Diego's fair. Somehow the Angels are 84 and 71. Like, in what world is that the case? I guess in some world. But yes, we are out of the playoffs for the 2024 season. All right, everybody. So it's played the last game of the season. We got absolutely blown out by a team that's worse than us. Soroka had a bad game. But our final record is 77 and 85. I believe at the beginning of the season we were projected to win 68 games. I guess I can check that. 64 games. So way better than how they projected us. Way, way better. We completely blew expectations out of the water. Going through our lineup, Gavin Sheets was probably our best hitter. Although he only really faced, I mainly had him face righties. Andrew Vaughn, decent, sub 1 WAR, sub 100 OPS plus. He should have struck out a lot less. That was his big issue. He's kind of concerning. His future is kind of concerning. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. Paul DeJong was a power bat for us. Pretty good fielder. Above 1 WAR. Who else? Sam Haggerty had a pretty good run with us. But when I say pretty good, I mean all things considered. Who else? Nicky Lopez turned it around, ended up above 0 WAR. Let's see. Maldonado was bad. That was kind of expected. And his fielding got worse, so we'll see what happens with him in the offseason. Sub 1 WAR. Pilar was bad. Those are bad stats. He wasn't going to be back next year anyway. Moncada turned it around a little bit. That's not awful. Strikeouts should be better. Above 1 WAR, 1.5 WAR isn't bad. Profar was awful. Like, god awful. I was checking in on Brian Ramos. He started 6 games, had those 3 home runs, a double, didn't walk at all, which is kind of concerning. I don't think that'll be a trend, though. Danny Mendick, over a 1 WAR season. I wonder what are they saying his arbitration's going to be? Yeah, I'll probably renew that. But we'll see. We'll see. I can't really expect that from him consistently. Tommy Pham in 30 games, 129 OPS plus. Pretty good. Kind of exactly what I wanted from him. Brett Phillips. Pretty much what I was expecting. He did play the full season with us in the majors, which I wasn't planning on doing, but he just provides so much defense in the outfield that I didn't want to send him back down, and we didn't have anybody else that I wanted to bring up and put in his place. Tomas Nido ends over 1 WAR. Pretty good stats, could have walked more. He basically split time with Maldonado. And for our pitchers, Eric Fedde ends with the most amount of losses, the highest amount of losses in the AL with 17. All things considered, he wasn't awful. His whip wasn't great. He threw plenty of innings. Kopech, we moved to the bullpen for the end of the year. He won't be on our team, so that's not really that big of a thing. Crochet, that's not a bad season at all, by any means. His walks per 9 could be better, but his first year as a starter, that's not bad. Almost 200 strikeouts, not a lot of home runs. That's great. That was a big plus for me. BABIP, pretty good. K per 9. I mean, he was our all-star. Other important players, Jordan Leisure had 25 saves. Just ignore the losses. K per 9 looks good. Could cut down the walks a little bit. Who else? Soroka was kind of our hero this year. 11-11, 168 innings pitched, 3.9 ERA. 7.5 Ks per 9 is nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty good. His whip was pretty good. So, Soroka, you guys might, I'm sure you're interested in seeing FIP and that kind of thing. I'll probably show that next year, but this is just kind of an overall look into how the team did this year. Sixto Sanchez, a waiver claim, pretty much evened out. He pitched 24 games, he pitched 23 with Miami. I was really happy with how he did with our team. I used him as a long reliever and emergency starting pitcher. He started 3 games. I was happy with how he did. Yancy Almonte was our best reliever probably in the time we had him. He was phenomenal. 12 K per 9, 1.5 WAR, great ERA. Again, ignore the losses. striking out 97 people in 77 and 2/3 innings is pretty impressive. We did John Brebbia get over 100 strikeouts? Yes, he did. So he got 102 in the bullpen. That's pretty impressive. 1.2 WAR. His ERA went up because he had a bunch of bad outings in the bullpen. We'll probably keep him around for another year. Luis Gil, another waiver claim. God, he walked a lot of people. He really, look at this outing right here. 5 walks in 1 inning. That's bad. I don't know why the CPU didn't take him out, why my coaches didn't take him out. But we will keep him around because he's on a minimum deal. So we'll give him time. Loisiga. I've realized I've been saying that wrong. Another waiver claim. Not awful. Kept the walks down. Tim Mayza. Another waiver claim. Was happy with how he did. I probably won't pay him 4.8 mil. I'll probably let him walk, or I'll look to extend him for a year. Because our bullpen was good, and I liked having a good bullpen. I thought that was important. Steven Wilson had a good year. Christopher Sanchez, again, really positive stuff out of him. Exactly what I was looking for when I claimed somebody off waivers. Nick Nastrini, in his 5 games, he walked a lot of people. Like a lot of people. Only gave 2 home runs. Struck out quite a few. So, not awful. And yeah, that's pretty much everybody of importance on our roster. So, we're going to go through the playoffs. Alright, it's playoff time. I accidentally skipped a few days into the playoffs. The Angels beat the Rays. Twins beat the Yankees in the wild card series. The Twins will face the Orioles. Angels will face the Astros. That's interesting. Padres versus Braves. And then Cardinals versus Giants. Alright, the Twins are getting off to a lead against the Orioles. That's kind of sucky. Let's have the Orioles bounce back. Angels sweep the Astros. Orioles get a game back from the Twins. Braves are up 2-1 on the Padres. Giants are up 2-1 on the Cardinals. And then the Orioles tied up with the Twins. The Twins beat the Orioles. Dang. Alright, and it's the Angels versus the Twins in the ALCS, and the Padres versus the Cardinals in the NLCS. All right. It is Cardinals and Twins in the 2024 World Series. Let's see who makes up the Twins. Royce Lewis looks to be an MVP candidate. My goodness. All right, they got Jesus Luzardo. He looks like he pitched pretty well for him. Pablo Lopez, Chris Paddock. Joe Ryan is injured. He's not on their roster. But here's what, that's pretty much their roster, except they added Gleyber Torres at the trade deadline. And for the Cardinals, it's pretty much their roster. That is almost exactly their roster. Paul Goldschmidt, who we looked at trading for, was really good again this year. He was better than he was last year. Mason Wynn, very good rookie season. Nolan Gorman, lots of bombs, lots of RBIs, lots of strikeouts. And Sonny Gray was fantastic for him. Alright, I've got another little update for you guys. It is currently the World Series, but I took a little break from recording just to look through international amateur free agents, and the main guy that I'm probably going to look to dole out all my money to is Juan Arroyo. He's a switch hitter from Mexico. Probably play left field for us. I've realized that I'm getting a ton of switch hitters, but his splits batting are the exact same for both as of right now. So I would love to have this guy in our minor league system. He looks like he's going to be phenomenal. So we're going to go with him, hopefully, if we can get him to sign. Go through the World Series. Twins and Cardinals after the first 2 games, 1-1. The Twins pull ahead 2-1. Cardinals even it up 2-2. Twins 3-2. Cardinals 3-3. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to watch this game. I thought, why not? It's 3-3. Looks like Matt Wallner hits a home run. A solo shot. Oh, Christian Walker, who it looks like they got through a trade deadline, gets an RBI single. 2-0 Twins. St. Louis's bats have gone cold. In Minnesota. All right, Joan Duran. Uh-oh. Runners in second and third for Lars Nootbaar. And he ties it! That's crazy. Lars Nootbaar ties it up with runners on second and third versus Joan Duran. All right, and we're in extras. The Cardinals get runners on second and third, and the Twins walk Nolan Gorman. Bases loaded for Paul Goldschmidt. He tries one deep, and that ball is gone. The Cardinals are up 7-3 after Lars Nootbaar hits a game-tying home run with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. All right, Lars Nootbaar strikes out. So 7-3. The Twins have to score 4 runs, and they don't. Joan Duran with the blown save. Griffin Jacks gives up a bunch of runs, gives up the grand slam to Paul Goldschmidt. And who will be the MVP? Dylan Carlson was the World Series MVP. Wow. That is probably not going to happen in real life. That would be crazy if it did happen in real life. But the Cardinals are your 2024 World Series champions. The offseason officially starts today. We completed a team record. We have an average score. We could pick up a knuckleballer. We could. We could do it. We could have a knuckleballer. What happened to our pitching coach? Oh, he retired. As did Martin Maldonado. John Brebbia is testing free agency. Let's see. Why not? Let's bring him back for 1 year and $3.5 million. We'll do 2 years, I guess. Risk the decline with age. That there's no decision needed with that one as he retired. Moncada, do you bring him back and do you pay him $25 million? No, you do not. Well, I don't. So we're going to make the decision on Moncada. We're going to avoid it. He's going to test free agency. Let's see. Yeah, we're not signing him for that much money. We free up a large amount of change Yeah, see, as he wouldn't be willing to take any of the money we would be willing to offer him. We have a new budget. What was our budget last year? So our budget goes up. Budget goes up $28 million. And we get more space because no more Moncada. We're going to hopefully re-sign Brevia. We'll potentially lose De Jong. We'll see. Our new goals: upgrade shortstop, increase attendance, bring more of your drafted players. That'll take time. Improve your record versus left-hand. This is a lot of goals. We have to upgrade at shortstop next year. Interesting. Bring more drafted players, increase fan interest. We already did. We've increased fan interest quite a bit, if you see right there. Improve your international amateur fines. We haven't found any of those yet. At the end of the season, the top prospects: Colson Montgomery is 10, Noah Schultz 33, Brian Ramos 62, Drew Thorpe 69, Edgar Cuero 76. We've got a bunch of top prospects. Our minor league system is killing it right now. Colson Montgomery will most likely start on our major league roster next year, depending on how he does in spring training. We'll see. We might look to use him at second. Yeah, we might do that. I don't love his fielding stats. And this is what our player development lab is going to look like. Looks like there are some really good options here. Let's see who would have good relationships. First off, let's make the decision that I know I've been wanting to make. We're going to release Michael Kopech. The clubhouse appreciates cutting ties. That was exactly what I was expecting. So, no more Michael Kopech. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Looks like Travis Thompson is potentially our best. Ben Housey. Yeah, let's look at Ben Housey. Let's go with him. He's got the best relationships, and we won't lowball him. We'll try and get him for 5 years. Let's look at arbitration. Who are we going to be bringing back? We will not be bringing back Chris Flexen. We will be bringing back Yancy Almonte. We can avoid arbitration by signing him to let's sign him for 1 year, $3.3 million. Jake Woodford. We'll get him in arbitration. Nabil Krismat, again, we'll try and go for him in arbitration. He was our waiver claim. Who else? Jimmy Lambert, we're going to let go. Tim Hill, we'll let go. Tim Mayza, let's offer him a contract. Avoid arbitration here. 4.8 mil. Sounds good to me. Tuki Toussaint. That's not Tuki Toussaint. This is Tuki Toussaint. And I believe what we're going to do with him is, we'll let him go to arbitration. That's what we'll do. Steven Wilson, we're going to let go to arbitration. Offer him 1.4 mil. Jorge Alfaro, arbitration, 2.2 mil. Gavin Sheets, we're going to look to avoid arbitration. 1.65. He likes it. Andrew Vaughn. Look to avoid arbitration. 5.4. Perfect. Danny Mendick and Brett Phillips. Truthfully, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to bring Brett Phillips back. Sadly. So we're going to hit that. Another little update for you guys. I've gone absolutely ham on the waiver wire. Absolutely ham. 4 players. Hoping I get all 4. I don't know why I wouldn't get all 4. Richard Fitz. He still has options. I'll send him down. He'll be a AAA guy. And maybe, those are decent enough. Maybe his AAA stats look good enough to where he can be a spot starter if needed. Cole Henry, again, same thing. He's still got option years. I'll send him down. Maybe he'll stay on our 40-man. We'll have space for him. Jose Hernandez. Great stuff. Power pitcher. He'll probably be in our bullpen. He's a lefty. We needed those. Pablo Aliendo. I could see him as our backup catcher this year. He's got great catching stats. Fantastic catching stats. And can hit decently. So, Pablo Aliendo. Probably a backup catcher soon. All right. And here are your end of the season award winners. The MVP, Juan Soto wins his first MVP. His stats look like this. Those are some really good stats. I mean, obviously very impressive. Personally, I would have gone with Royce Lewis. That's just how I lean. Yeah, that's how I lean. But Royce Lewis, so here's your AL MVP, Juan Soto. AL Cy Young was Christian Javier. Jackson Holliday wins Rookie of the Year. Josh Hader, Reliever of the Year. Here are great Golden Gloves. I don't know why it says Great Glove, but Golden Gloves. Here's Silver Sluggers. And the National League. Willy Adames, MVP. That's a shame because he was somebody I was looking at going after in the offseason, just in case he got non-tendered by the Braves. I doubt he will. Blake Snell wins his 3rd Cy Young. Putting up these stats. Gave up 9 home runs all season. That's crazy. Still had walk issues. Jackson Merrill wins Rookie of the Year. Edwin Diaz, Reliever of the Year. So here are your Great Glove winners. And your Silver Sluggers. All right. It's arbitration day. It's time to see what our players get. We won on Sam Haggerty. We're bringing back Super Platoon guy. He won't get the starts he got last year. Because Luis Robert will be back and we'll be playing Brian Ramos and Colson Montgomery and a few other people in the infield. Steven Wilson, team wins that one. Touki Toussaint, he'll barely be on our Major League roster. I wish I hadn't taken him to arbitration. I wish I had just let him go. Danny Mendick wins against us. Okay. We get Nabil Krismat and Alfaro wins. So overall, some wins, some losses. What is this? They keep trying to trade for a bunch of people. Seem to think that Drew Thorpe is available. He's not. Although his profile I don't love. Intelligence, don't love. But technically it says he's done developing, so he'll be in our majors next year. But we are not taking that trade. And we will see who files free agency wise. International free agents, another important thing. We could get any of these players. These aren't real people. OOTP does not take actual real players out of fictional or out of international leagues. That's something I would love to add for them to add into the game, but I don't know how doable it is. It's probably not very doable at all. People that interest me, goodness. Some good pitches for Jorge Crespo from the Cuban League. And somebody I could, I could get him on a minor league deal. That's probably the case for a lot of these people. Won't be getting this guy. Don't need a 33-year-old catcher. And I guess I can, I'll offer this guy a minor league deal and ask for a scouting report on him. Organizational depth, 23-year-old, why not? Why not take a chance? All right, here are our big free agents. Wow. Reigning MVP is now a free agent and is asking for $41 million a year. Another reigning, so both reigning MVPs are free agents. Wow, that's not at all what I was expecting. And here's our roster right now. Did he get worse? He got worse at everything. He got worse at fielding and center. He got worse at everything. All right. He's fragile too, so he can't play every day in center field. Yeah, we'll do this later. Let's identify Nicky Lopez. We'll probably put him at shortstop. Brian Ramos will probably play third, even though he's not the greatest defensive third baseman. Nito will catch. So we need outfielders. We're fine pitching-wise. We need outfielders. Now, do I sign free agents? I'd like not to. But Juan Soto is a different case because he's Juan Soto. Oh man, I could. It's not realistic at all. A more realistic signing would be somebody like Tyler O'Neill. Though the issue is, I'm not looking to win next year. I don't think it's that viable. I don't think it's realistic. Santander is another guy that's more realistic. Again, I'm not going to sign. So, free agency, I'm laying low. Did we? Okay, that's what I thought. I'm laying low during free agency. Although, guys like Matt Chapman and even somebody like Josh Bell intrigues me. We don't need him. Adames is really a guy that if that price tag wasn't so high, I would want to. I would want him on my team. He won an MVP last year. He's got great fielding stats. He killed it. I would want him on my team. I think we give it a little bit, see if he comes down, and then I guess Dominic Fletcher will be our right fielder. So we need a left fielder. All right, I've got one last update for you guys. We got offered this trade. Offered it. We get a very good fielding left fielder. 24. He could be on the major leagues. He was struggling in AAA, so we'll see what happens with him. We ship off Tim Mayza and Brooks Baldwin. Baldwin, I was skeptical on. He's got pretty good fielding. Would be a utility player. He didn't tear it up in AA or high A for that matter. He was pretty good in high A, but Yeah, so I ship off those two, get a potentially almost league ready left fielder, a pretty good reliever, and then a backup catcher at height. Complete the trade, and then we also shed the 5.4 that I offered Tim Mayza, but we do lose a good lefty reliever. All right, I thought I'd give a little update to everybody. The Rule 5 draft happened, and I'll show you the players that I picked up in that. But first, I wanted to show I traded Eric Fedde away. It was time. I was paying him $7.5 million, and there are starters that I want to pitch every day in the major leagues. Jimmy Joyce is one of them. Nick Nastrini is the other. I want their young prospects. Again, Drew Thorpe, another guy. So that happened, and in addition for that, I got Jonathan Davis. We'll see if he makes the team out of spring training. We'll see. Jacob Maya is another guy, great second base fielder. I'm excited by him. He's not a great hitter, but that 65 second base fielding is really important. It's a big plus to me. My Rule 5 draft pick selections, they include Wilfredo Antunez from the Cubs. Not a bad fielder, pretty good bat. He's still developing, as you can see. That's fine by me. We've got space. We've got time to develop guys. His highest level he's been at is AA. That's a little bit concerning, but we'll see how it works. This is another guy. Highest level he's been at is high A, and he wasn't fantastic, but he's got great shortstop fielding ratings. He's got potential. He's got development in all his stats, but I want to give him a try. And this is the guy who I think has the highest chance of doing some good to our team. His name is Jorge Barrosa. He's a 23-year-old. We got him from Arizona. He'll play left field for us every day, potentially every day left fielder. He's a switch hitter. He's got same ratings for lefties and righties. That's a big plus. So I'm excited with our Rule 5 draft guys. We got 3 of them. That's way more than I went into the draft expecting, and I'm excited. All right, I'm doing something crazy. I'm just pulling the trigger on it. I'm going for it. Here's the big thing. I wanted to get rid of Andrew Vaughn. It's weird saying it because I'm pretty sure he's a part of the White Sox foreseeable future. I have another piece that I like better than him, and I'll show you him later, but I'm willing to give up Terrell Tatum, who looks like he could be a pretty good bat, pretty good leadoff guy. Willing to give him up. Willing to give up Gladney. And in return, I'm getting Santiago Suarez. Will be hopefully a pretty good high upside starting pitcher. And Nick Schnell, 24-year-old AA guy, right fielder. We're going to hit complete trade. And we have traded Andrew Vaughn, which is crazy to me. Thank you, Andrew Vaughn, for everything you've done for the city of Chicago in your limited time here. 4 years. 4 years ain't limited. It's a decent amount of time. Now comes the time of Wilfred Veras. Where is he? He's hiding. Wilfred Veras. This guy is a stud. And I mean it. Look, I could have kept Andrew Vaughn. If I'm being realistic, I could have kept Andrew Vaughn. I just prefer this guy. I'd rather this guy get some major league at bats. I'd rather he be a part of our future. I have made the first free agent signing of the White Sox under my tenure. It is Juan Arroyo, Cowboy. The switch hitter, he's from Mexico. Signed him for $3 million. And that means I have $1.7 million to give out still. Sounds good to me. He's the only person who was signed yet. Some people I've looked at this guy, potentially as a bullpen arm. We'll see. I don't know. Also, this guy could be something good. And I actually think I might sign Keith Van Dorst from Aruba. $300K, Keith Van Dorst. Made an offer to him. Who else are we making offers to? Julio Verdin. Let's do this. Yeah, absolutely. He's got great fielding. We're going to go with him. Who else? Meret Kame. We'll probably not do this guy. All right, who else? David Maldonado. Maybe. If he's still around after the other guys sign and he's 180K, certainly I'll look at him. Juan Zagal. I could. I'll make an offer. 300K. Okay. Okay, never mind. 350K. All right, we'll see what these guys think. So we got Hawaiian Arroyo, and we also made a waiver claim with Sam Bachman. Extreme ground ball pitcher. He's got pretty good stuff. Great fastball, great slider. I'm excited. He'll be a relief guy, probably a middle relief guy for us. Keith Van Dorst. Here are all the guys I just made offers to. All right, Julio Verdin has a contract from the Mets that he prefers. We're going to have to go up on him to 550. That's fine by me. I mean, I have the space to go up, so why not? Also, Hall of Fame voting results. In addition to Juan Zagal wanting more, it's $30 more. Okay, not that much. We'll go with that. Where's the Hall of Fame voting results? Todd Helton. 7th year. Ichiro. 1st year. First ballot Hall of Famer Ichiro Suzuki. Adrian Beltre does not make it like he did in real life. And Billy Wagner gets dropped off, which is a bummer because I was really hoping he would make it. All right, we're going to keep going. Let's hope we get some of these guys. Van Dorst. He's in our rotation. Welcome to our minor league system. He's in an international complex. He could probably get moved up. He looks like he's got good stats, so we'll see based on scouting reports whether that changes. Though we have to make another... Oh, no. Okay, we're not going to land Julio Verdin unless we decide to give up on Juan Zagal. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. All right. Giving up on Juan Zagal. I'm going all in on Julio Verdin. I just like his fielding stats better. All right, Verdin, 950. It's about as high as we can go with you. Hope he likes it. Keith Van Dorst. Hey, starts off at a 1-star. He's got good stuff so far. He's 18. I can put him in the Dominican League. I might put him in the Dominican League to start out, but we'll see. Verdin says no, and it's not out of our range yet. Okay, he wants 1.3 mil. I'm hoping he doesn't go up much higher than that. Come on. He likes it. Please, nobody else go higher. We got him. Julio Verdin, welcome to the Chicago White Sox. He's a great fielder. I mean, those are fantastic infield stats, and he's a good outfielder. Let's see those outfield. 65 outfield range. Great. He can play some center. So, we get some really good international players, and we also make a waiver claim. All right, it is the last day of spring training, the final day of the 2025 spring training, and we are down to 41 players we have to trim down to our 26-man roster. Got quite a few relievers that we're going to have to go through, and a few starting pitchers. Actually, we have to trim one off, so if I trim one off, it's either going to be Cole Henry or Christopher Sanchez. Sanchez, as you can see, has not been great this spring training. I'm not too worried about that. He's just too good in my mind. Even though his stats aren't fantastic, I'm fine with him as a number 2, probably number 3 starter behind Soroka and Crochet. For our batters, I'll probably send down Hackenberg. He won't make our opening day roster, but Hackenberg, only one plate appearance throughout the entirety of spring training. I wish that wasn't the case. Wilfred Veras, we'll see about him making opening day. Gavin Sheets will make the opening day roster, although he's been a little cold recently. He will be our opening day DH most likely. Colson Montgomery will probably make our opening day roster. I'm hoping he'll be our starting third baseman. Nicky Lopez will make it. Arteaga will make it. He's our Rule 5, so all the Rule 5 guys will make it. Barossa, Antunes, they'll all make it. Guys that are questionable, guys like Jacob Gonzalez, he will not be making it. He'll get sent down to AA. I have him set as disabled AI promotion, so I am in control of when he gets promoted. Lennon Sosa, again, we'll see. We'll continue to make our cuts. Danny Mendick, he did not have a good spring training. He will be in AAA. And Loidel Chappelli, who has been fantastic. I mean, just top tier stuff. Had a crazy good spring. We'll see about him. Antigua didn't get enough at bats. I was hoping he would, since, that's part of who I traded Oscar Colas and Eloy Jimenez for. Goodness. He doesn't look like he's going to pan out at all. But Lantigua was an important part of that. Jacob Marseille, we're going to keep him up for a few more days just so that I don't think it matters, but he's excelling in his generating bat speed. So that goes through and he continues to excel. I'm going to keep him up. Braden Montgomery only got one plate appearance. He was our first round draft pick. We're going to send him, let's see. That's in the Carolina League. He's going to rake there, but we'll keep him there for the time being. See how he does in low A ball. Lennon Sosa will send down to AAA. Although he did have a good spring training, as you can see. He had a mediocre spring training. He was getting on base, he was getting hits, but he wasn't turning them into much. Zach DeLoach is a big question mark because he was good. He had a good spring training. And he's old, and not old, but 26 is He's not a prospect anymore. He's a question mark. Dominic Fletcher will make the opening day roster. Okay, let's go to relievers. Steven Wilson, although he had a good spring training, we're going to demote him because he regressed over the winter, so I don't want that. I'm not looking for that. Other guys, Mason Fluharty, he has option years, Jose Hernandez does, so I'm going to send Hernandez down to AAA, and Mason Fluharty will be a stopper and our specialist against lefties. Although he's actually equal against both, so we'll just have him as a stopper. Jake Cousins, again, had a good... These relievers will be interesting to go through. Tanner Banks, again, very good. I'd like to have more than one left-handed arm on the team, so we'll keep him. Sam Bachman was really good. He has 2 option years, but I'm going to keep him up. And it looks like Cole Henry is going to get sent down. Okay, I have to put him on the 40-man, but I don't have space. Danny Mendick, Wave and DFA. I like this Cole Henry guy. He's got good pitches. I'd like to keep him around. I'd like to keep him on our 40-man. So I'm going to send him down to AAA. Yep. Sending him down to AAA. And we need to cut 1 or 2 more relievers, but we'll do that in a second. Edgar Quero, who had a fantastic spring. We're going to give him a few more at-bats in AAA before he comes up to the majors for the season. Oof. He was rough. Jose Rodriguez, I was really hoping he would make it. I'm going to put him in AAA. What I'm realizing is AAA is probably going to be way too crowded. Guys like McGarity. This will get sorted out by the AI once I'm done with this, but alright, I've got to make 4 more cuts. 3 more cuts. Jacob Marseille is going to be on AAA. Oof. He was just so good. But the highest he's been past is AA. All of these 3 guys will stay on the roster. Ramos is going to be on the roster. Wilfred Veras might start off in our minor league system. He might start off in AAA. Just to get a few more at-bats, and then I'll move him up. Colson Montgomery will start at second. He will start on our major league roster. Alright, Chappelle's the one. And Jacob Burke will stay. Colin Barber we cut early. He was a part of... Who did we trade? Tim Mayza and Brooks Baldwin. So he was a part of that trade. Alright, we've got 1 more cut. Zach DeLoach is going to make our opening day roster. Got 1 more cut, and that cut is going to be in the bullpen. Who's getting cut from the bullpen? Who didn't have a good spring training? I mean, they all had it. Yancy Almonte didn't have a good spring training. I believe in him, though. I'm not sending him down. This is going to be an example of Kevin being stubborn. We are sending down Jake Cousins. I was hoping he would make our opening day roster, but we just don't have space for him. We'll see if, depending on injuries. And, alright. Here is our opening day roster. our 2025 opening day roster. Alright, I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me through this video. I know this has been a long one, so thank you guys for staying around. I'll see you next time. Please subscribe, like the video, and I will see you when I see you.